25 minutes and just a handful of colors, and you can make something that looks wonderful, just like this. So here is our pencil drawing. And before we get into this, I want to kind of explain the idea behind this video. This is a palette you've seen me use before. I use this in almost all of my videos for most of my commission work, and when I go out to art shows and things like that, this is the palette that comes with me. When I was little, I used to watch a lot of painting videos on YouTube, and one of the things that always bugged me was that they had these beginner-friendly tutorials where they used a palette similar to this, or they used paints that were expensive, and I wasn't sure if I was going to be any good at the styles that I was watching the videos of, and so I kind of never really tried it. And so today we're going to be making this painting that I showed you at the intro, not using this palette. So let's put this away. Today, the palette we're going to be using is this here, Praying Oval 8 Semi-Moist Watercolors. I got this at Michael's. I think it costs about $7, and it comes with its own brush. You could use this brush for this painting, which I'm not going to do just because it is going to make this video slower. But everything that I'm going to show you in this video is a technique that you could use with this smaller brush. So at the entry cost of $7 and one page of paper that I've cut down and a little bit of tape, I think we can get a pretty good painting out of this. Like I said, I have some slightly different brushes here, and these are entirely optional, but I've got a little bigger of a brush. The brand is not important. All that matters is that it holds water. So you can see the one that it comes with is very small. So I got myself a wider brush that I can use a bunch of water with, and I will use this guy for our details, just to make my process go faster. But we're going to go ahead and get started on this painting. So this is a sunset at the beach. I was on a trip recently on the other coast of Florida, on the East Coast. I live on the West Coast of Florida, and I got to see some sunrises out at the beach when I was there. And this is a picture I took of one of those sunrises, and so I thought this would make for a good painting, and this allows us to use some fun colors, but is something we can very easily get done with this simple palette. So let's go through the colors in my palette first. I have red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, brown, and black. This black we will not touch. This black is ugly. It's down here. Ugly, gross black color. We're not going to use it at all. It's very green, and so I'm not interested in painting with it because it makes the painting look strange. So if we need black, we will mix our own. So this black is not going to be on your page or on your screen. We've got brown, purple, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. These are basically the rainbow, Roy-G Biv, but there's no, it's not indigo violet, it's just purple and a brown. And I'm not even going to use all of these. I'll probably primarily stay in the red, orange, yellow, maybe a little purple, maybe a little blue. I don't think I'm going to use any green at all. I may not even use any brown. And we're going to hopefully have a pretty good looking painting at the end of this. So first things first, I'm going to get down some base colors for our sky. Now the sky was orange, and then it faded off into a bit of a nice blue. So I'm going to try to get that first. Sun is here. I'm going to avoid that. And if I come down into the water a little bit, that's a-okay with me. And then on the top of the sky, we're going to go with our blue. I'm a simple man, don't wanna complicate you. Now let's do some work on these clouds. So the clouds are going to be a reddish orange down here near the sun, and they'll quickly fade to a purple up top. Maybe even a dark blue. you see when I'm putting these marks in here that I'm using almost exclusively horizontal marks. That is going to push these clouds back for me because I want them in the background. And it's going to make them seem a little flat, but that's good. So further away something is from you, the less verticality it seems to have. So horizontal strokes make things look like they're further in the background. So I've got a lot of that down. One of the things I'm going to put in here now is a little bit of a yellowy orange like I did earlier in the sky. I'm just going to little strokes of that here for the water. All right, so now we can get into the water. So now we'll get into the detail phase. I've got to let this dry for a few minutes. So I will be back when this dries. And I'll let you know how long it took. Okay, it's been almost exactly 5 minutes and it's dry now. And so now we're going to move on to some of our details. I am picking up this little brush that came with my set and we're getting it wet. I've never used one of these, so we're going to find out together right now if it's going to be any use to us at all. Okay, it looks like it holds enough water to get done the job that we need to get done, so that's good. I'm going to come back in here with this dark color that we had earlier, and I need to make it even darker. So this is now where we're going to get into this brown. I have done a video before, check it out up here in the corner, where I was making a painting without using any black at all. And for those of you who don't have the time to watch that, basically if you mix together blue and brown and purple, you can get a pretty good approximation, at least for painting purposes, of a black. So that's what I'm going to do here. This is basically a really dark purple, and we're going to use that to do some of our shadow work here. So there's a few waves out on the water, and I want to get those in. So what I'm going to do is the furthest out one is going to be the thinnest one, obviously. And so that's what we're going to start with. And I'm going to take that little mark that I put in and soften the bottom of it. I'll let the top part stay solid like that. But if I soften the bottom a little bit, it's going to just kind of fade into the water, which is exactly what I'm hoping for. And up front, we have a wave that's kind of crashing. So what I'm going to do for this one is make the bottom here a little more squirrely. Okay, so at this point, you could be done. If all you had was the watercolors, you could stop here. And I would say that that's a pretty good painting. I, however, am a fiend for some white pens and markers, and so I'm going to add a little bit more detail into this just for fun. Normally, I would be using my Posca marker. For the sake of the video, I'm going to use something a little bit cheaper though. So let's grab out, I have a white pen in this box, let me grab it. So here we have a little white gel pen. You could get this at Office Max, Office Depot. They come in packs of I think you can get them in a pack of 3 for a couple bucks. They're not very expensive. And they're gonna do exactly what I want. So I'm gonna close this guy up. At this stage, I'm gonna go ahead and pull off my tape so that I can move this. So we'll do that here. Time for the best part of the painting process, right? Whenever I'm pulling tape, I'm pulling slowly and away from my painting to mitigate any tearing of the paper. Once again, pulling away from the paper. Try to limit, because this paper is layered and pressed. So if you're pulling toward it, there's a chance that the topmost layer you could pull off, which is not really the end of the world. But if you pull off too much, it'll pull off your paint. And we don't want that to happen. So I've got my white pen, and let's go ahead and add some fun stuff in here. First of all, we're going to add a little bit of white into the clouds surrounding our sun and in the sun itself. Very shallow U shapes here, just on the bottoms of some of these clouds that are nearby the sun. And let's add some highlights to the water as well. And here we go. For this guy, we can do some small circular motions. So I think that's gonna just about do it. We might add a few more highlights onto the bottoms of some of these clouds, just for fun. And I think I want to add one more thing, a little bird flying in the sky. So we're going to go ahead and pull our watercolor back out, and let's put in a little bird flying. So I think I want it to go right about here. Perfect. So if you didn't catch that quite, I'll show you again what the motion is. We have basically a little X. I'll show you here on a scrap piece of paper. Basically, the marks that I'm using to make the bird is I have that and that. Those are essentially the two marks I'm doing. So it's a wing that comes down into the body, and another wing. This is the shape you're used to, right? The little M-shaped bird. And another thing that I like to add is two little bits out there for the wing, for the tail. It kind of makes it look a little bit like a tern, which is a very common seabird. And I just thought that it would be nice if we had one flying in our painting. So there we go. That was 30 minutes for me. I think the waiting time was about, what did I say, 5 minutes? So 25 minutes and just a handful of colors, and you can make something that looks wonderful, just like this. So I hope that this video was useful for you. I hope that you tried this. If you did, leave a comment. Let me know how it turned out. I'd love to see it. Feel free to submit it on the community page on my YouTube channel, or send it to me on Instagram or anything like that. You can access all of that through my YouTube. There's a little circle here that will take you right there, and you can check it all out. There's also a video up here that YouTube thinks you'll like. Go ahead and watch that one. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Like, subscribe, share with your friends, all that standard stuff. I'll see you in the next one.